Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are still working on Henry VI Part 3, and today we get to hear from Richard, who is now the Duke of Gloucester in Act 3, Scene 2. So yeah, Richard is now the Duke of Gloucester, George is now the Duke of Clarence, Edward, the former Duke of York's son, is now king. Like, everybody's calling him king, and the people are even going to him with their problems the way that they would go to a king. Henry has basically been taken off of the throne, and he was arrested by a couple of deer hunters in Act 3, Scene 1. The Queen, Margaret, has gone to France to try to get the French king to help put Henry back on the throne. Warwick has also gone to France to try to get the king's daughter, I think it's the king's daughter, to come back and be a wife for Edward. So then France and England can, meld once again. So Act 3, Scene 2, where we start out with Edward basically like seeing people as if he is king, and they're coming in with problems, and he's talking specifically to this woman named Lady Grey, who lost her husband in the War of the Roses and then lost her husband's lands as well. So she has come to file a suit to try to get her husband's lands back because she thinks that she should still be able to have them. So he listens to her suit, and Richard and George are hanging out over there, and they're like whispering back and forth to each other while the whole conversation is going on. And she's like, "Can I have my lands back?" And he's like, "Well, maybe, depends what you'll do for me." And she's like, "I'll do anything to get my lands back." And he's like, "Well, would you love a king?" And she's like, "I already love a king." And he's like, "That's not quite what I meant by that." And it takes her kind of ridiculously long to come around to the fact that he's propositioning her. He wants sex in order to give her husband's lands back, because, me too. And especially when it's a king. And she's like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." And he's like, "Well, then you don't get your lands back." And she's like, "Come on, can I just have my land?" And he's like, "Well, what if I make you the queen?" And she's like, "Well, I'm not really suited to be the queen." He's like, "That's okay, that doesn't matter. We'll get married so then I can sleep with you and you can give me heirs and everything will be great." And they're like, "Okay, yeah, that'll be a thing." And then everybody leaves except for Richard, the Duke of Gloucester, who gets to stay on stage and speak his mind. So as soon as he is left to himself, he says, Edward will use women honorably. Would he were wasted, marrow, bones and all, that from his loins no hopeful branch may spring to cross me from the golden time I look for. And yet, between my soul's desire and me, the lustful Edward's title buried, is Clarence, Henry, and his son young Edward, and all the unlooked-for issue of their bodies to take their rooms ere I can place myself. A cold premeditation for my purpose. Why then I do but dream on sovereignty, like one that stands upon a promontory and spies a far-off shore where he would tread, wishing his foot were equal with his eye, and chides the sea that sunders him from hence, saying he'll lade it dry to have his way. So do I wish the crown, being so far off, and so I chide the means that keeps me from it. And so I say, I'll cut the causes off, flattering me with impossibilities. My eyes too quick, my heart o'erweens too much, unless my hand and strength could equal them. Well, say there is no kingdom then for Richard. What other pleasure can the world afford? I'll make my heaven in a lady's lap, and deck my body in gay ornaments, and witch sweet ladies with my words and looks. Oh, miserable thought, and more unlikely than to accomplish 20 golden crowns. Why, love forswore me in my mother's womb, and for I should not deal in her soft laws, she did corrupt frail nature with some bribe to shrink mine arm up like a withered shrub, to make an envious mountain on my back where sits deformity to mock my body. to shape my legs of an unequal size, to disproportion me in every part like to a chaos or an unlicked bear whelp that carries no impression like the dam. And am I then a man to be beloved? Oh, monstrous fault to harbor such a thought. Then since this earth affords no joy to me, but to command, to check, to o'erbear such as are of better person than myself, I'll make my heaven to dream upon the crown. And whiles I live to account this world but hell, until my misshapen trunk that bears this head be round impaled with a glorious crown. And yet I know not how to get the crown. For many lives stand between me and home, and I, like one lost in a thorny wood, that rents the thorns and is rent by the thorns, seeking a way and straying from the way, not knowing how to find the open air, but toiling desperately to find it out, torment myself to catch the English crown. And from that torment I will free myself, or hew my way out with a bloody axe. Why, I can smile and murder whiles I smile, and cry content to that which grieves my heart, and wet my cheeks with artificial tears, and frame my face to all occasions. I'll drown more sailors than the mermaid shall. I'll slay more gazers than the basilisk. I'll play the orator as well as Nestor, deceive more slyly than the Lyces could, and like a Sinon, take another Troy. I can add colors to the chameleon, change shapes with Proteus for advantages, and set the murderous Machiavel to school. Can I do this and cannot get a crown? Tut. Were it farther off, I'll pluck it down. Oh, so he has lots of things to say. He has lots and lots of things to say in this piece. He basically admits right now that he wants to plot to kill everyone that stands between him and the throne, being his brother, his nephew, any babies that are born between now and then, Henry and his son Edward, just for safety and security's sake, in case the crown goes back in that direction. He is very much of a singular mind and a singular focus at this point, because he's not an attractive man. He has a hunchback, his legs are uneven, his arm is mangled, like he's not an attractive man. So if he's not king, he's not going to be surrounded by women. He probably won't even be surrounded by whores. He feels like there's no way for him to get any love in this world unless he has power, and that power being the crown. And so he needs the crown. That is his singular focus. He needs the crown, and is going to do whatever it takes to get it. And thus ends Act 3, Scene 2. Ha! So I'll see you tomorrow for more. I feel like we've had 4 plays already, just within Henry VI Part 3, and we're just in Act 3. So there's a lot more still to come, because we got to wrap all of it up somehow, but we've still got like 2.5 acts to do that in. So I will see you tomorrow for more, so we can see where it goes. Mwah.